for you all, as I try to do every other Tuesday. Now it has been it's been a couple of weeks. I have been away. Maybe seen my pictures that I posted along the way. I've been on a lovely trip to the northwest. Yes, some churches am very privileged to get to present in, and or some smaller groups as well. I'm very grateful to do. I haven't been in the Northwest actually since just before lockdown, and it was a funny one because it was in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, March 2020, and starting to get the warnings from family and so on. Come home because they're going to shut down airlines. This is 3 years ago, and and I'm just thinking, gosh, the world has changed. My world has changed since I was out there in the Northwest. But I was so happy. I was so happy to go there. It's a real power area for me. I can feel it with the mountains and the ocean so close as well. Everywhere you go, there's a beautiful photo to take, and got some more of that to post. So yeah, I was about 24 hours ago. I was in Seattle Airport. So, but I wanted to do this because some of you had asked me to, and I do my best. If I'm going to travel, I'm going to travel. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So I'm still giving it a go in the middle of the day. I haven't seen the kids for a few days, obviously, so I'm going to go collect them from school, and not having to do this in the middle of the day. Sorry, not having to do this in the evening gives me more time with them, and that's getting to be more important. All right, so well, just before I start, I want to share with you. I haven't put it out yet. I haven't got anything on the website, but I will be giving a retreat at Unity Village, which is near here in Missouri, and that's going to be at the very end of August. At Unity Village, we'll be staying at Unity Village. It's going to be lovely. We're going to be working on the unified field, as it were, and that's wonderful. Late August, and I will put that out. But let me know if you're interested. Is first thing. Second is, for anyone that isn't on my membership group, we are just kind of up refreshing and updating and upgrading all of it. So that's really quite exciting. I'm going to be sharing about that in the next couple of weeks as well. And perhaps even bringing this on to there in a way. There's so many lovely people connected with all of that. But anywho, to today. So I like to give readings every couple of weeks like this. I'm not going to be asking for anything. There will not be any donation buttons around. I'm just doing this. If anyone's doing this joining me for the first time, yes, I'll read for you. If you put a question in the comments section there. My reason for doing this is to take a load off. I do this as a healer, not a reader. The things on your mind, you want some perspective, trajectory on, that's what this is for. So I will now stop yakking at you. I'm going to check out the comment section. Oh, there we are. We've got a few of you here. And I'll get to your question. No, well, okay, I'll go in the order. I see Emily's question first, and then I'll get to yours, Anne, because I know you want to had a question to ask. So Emily, let's start with you. Oh gosh, my aging eyes. It's really small. Oh, super. Will I be receiving a job offer for the golf position I've interviewed for? What would the next steps be? Okay. All right. So let's just, if anyone's joining me for this for the first time, a reading shows a trajectory. Okay. So an accumulation of energy for something. So I want to see that first of all. Okay, this is looking pretty likely to me, Emily. I feel like you've connected very well with someone there, and just so you know, just so I know, I'm not just saying what you want to hear. I'm looking at the process card, the Two of Cups there. That's far beyond male female and coupling. That's when two create something greater together, you interviewing, you being interviewed, and so on. The Eight of Wands is about things moving in a very direct and yet fluid way. So this to me looks really good. But what I want to say, you're asking about next steps. When you are being interviewed, you wait for that, right? You wait for that. That's necessarily not in your hands. So I don't know when you interviewed recently. I'd just say let that be for a couple of weeks, and we can talk and so on. We can talk. Just given that, I don't have much more to say. Probably won't have many people on today, so drop another question in if you want to. All right, but I will move on for right now. Okay, got looking at your question, Anne. Romance and dating with them. Also, anyone that's on, don't keep throwing the same question in, please. I'm going in order. I will get to everyone. Okay. All right. What do we got? Romance and dating with a man, John, or is he not available? So there seems to be something in the. I was about to say something in the way with you and this gentleman, Anne. But I don't know if I can say that it's something in the way. I feel like both of you get pulled around, okay, and that can look like something in the way. Of course it can, but it's a. There's definitely some interruptive energy around the two of you. So I looked at him and being available, and I see someone there that's got too much going on in their lives, or shall we say, hasn't stepped up haven't stepped up to managing the amount that's going on in his life, and so it's less about availability, a little bit more about maturity. And I see someone that maybe avoids doing what there's an avoidant nature there that I'm picking up on. If this was me, and I've kind of been in something like this before, to be honest with you, I would step away. And I'd step away because there comes a point that if we bring our energy, our presence to something, and there is a conducive response, we do more of it, right? But usually what happens is, often what happens is we bring our energy in, we don't get the full response that we're expecting, but we get some. And so we keep putting energy in, expecting it to change, and it doesn't, not because of us, but because it's not for us necessarily, or not for us right at the time. And so I'd suggest you withdraw energy from this and put it somewhere else, honestly. Okay. 69th birthday. Wonderful. 30th March. What is the next year going to bring? Right. All right. Well, I don't think we got many people on right now, so I will take a look and see what we get. Well, sometimes sometimes when a question's asked, the answer isn't exactly what you want to hear. All right. So let's just start there. I want to tell you, Roberta, I want to tell you rainbows and unicorns and Care Bears and all of that. That's not the year I'm seeing ahead of you. I'm seeing a year ahead of you for you to step up to. There is a bit of challenge in this next year, right? And as I'm saying this, Roberta, because I do care about you, please just breathe with this, okay? Breathe, because we've got an interesting card here about, shall we say, spiritual decree, which means that that's where we get a say in what happens. I'll give you a bit of an example. I asked a friend to read for me a little while ago, and he was just looking at a few months and so on, and he was getting something about April next month, a bit of challenge for me in that month. And I said, just can you show me which area of my life it's in? And I'm not going to get into that now, but it gave me an opportunity to start processing for it, because energy is just there waiting for us. Challenge is just congealed energy, it's compacted energy that sort of needs to get released, and that's how we experience it. Okay. So there's nothing coming up that you can't deal with. I'm getting two reminders as I look at this. One is that you're how much stronger you're becoming as you're completing. You're almost the completion of a decade, as it were. How much stronger you're becoming. Things that you chose to do, you're getting to do. That's something about this next year as well. And that's what I'm getting. So, all this to say, spiritually, you have quite an interesting year ahead of you, where you're getting to see that you don't have to wait so much for other people, wait for things. You can start choosing, deciding, right? That's what's really getting galvanized this year. In the process of that, it could be a little challenging. You're going to need to rest. You're going to need your rest. And as a friend of mine, Rhonda, says, as a reader, we are duty bound to share what we see. So, not what I want to tell you, but it's what is there. Okay, and I'm going to wish you happy birthday ahead of time, Roberta. All right, on we go. All right, Maria. Is there a big change coming to your life? In what area, if so? Maria, I'm not getting that there's a big change coming. And that was the question I asked. Um, and I'm and so I pause and I think, well, because I'm asking now, why did the question come in the first place? And now I see you're wanting a change. The question is coming from a want for change. All right. And so on the outside, this is not going to look like that big a change because the change is happening inside. And it's the if I can analogize this for you, it's you're going from being closed or not seeing opportunity to being open and seeing opportunity in the palm of your hands, right? That's a colossal change, one of the biggest changes that we made. But on the outside, it's not going to look any different. And so, um, big change coming to your life, no, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it because it's inside. It's inside. A big change to your inner and your processing and your perception and what you do with life and consciousness and people and relationships. Yes, yes. Um, and I would say in the next 3 or 4 months. So I want to affirm. I want to affirm that you were picking up on something. I want to affirm that you were tuning into something, but I don't see it. I don't see it initially being an external thing. It will become an external thing, but not initially. Yeah. Catherine, will you start to enjoy life again with no burdens? All right. Interesting question. You've asked a deep and important question there, and you have put a caveat in, and which means you have an expectation. So I do need to address the expectation as well. Right, 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 right. Right. So, my answer to your question, Catherine, is yes and no. Will you enjoy life again? I'm going to just pause the question there. Yes. You know why? Because it's your instinctual way. It's your instinctual way. Now, why did that get interrupted? It got interrupted because, as with most of us, we have generated, not picked up, we've generated some trauma along the way. And that affects our perceptions, it affects our decision making process, and it's an influence on us. And for you, you've got this thing where you feel like the shoe's going to drop at any moment. And that's going to make you view something as a burden as opposed to an opportunity. Because we're always vacillating on that dial. Burden, challenge, or opportunity, challenge, opportunity. And so I do see you enjoying life more. I don't see in for a while yet, and you can do your own thing on this, but I see it as a while before you stop seeing burdens in your life. And you know what? So there's two things that are for me true right now. In and more enjoyment with the presence of burdens. Two things can occupy two maybe conflicting or contradictory truths can occupy the same space. They can. I would encourage you to introduce the enjoyment to the burden, right? The enjoyment won't diminish, the burden will. The burden will transform into something else. Because burden is a judgment. And I'm saying that I have 3 children, I run 2 businesses. I know about having a lot on. I have ill family and all of that. I know about having a lot on, but perception is what transmutes that. And please hear me about the enjoyment. It's your instinctual way. Okay, on we go. Michelle, is it time for you to step up and forwards, and or what is your block there that you need to work on? Is it time for you to step up and forwards? What is your block? Okay. Just quickly, by the way, I can't see it, but if anyone's just come on and started spamming you all for free readings and so on, I can't see that. I can't do anything about it right now. I'll do something about it later, but I can't right now. Okay. Michelle. Oh, Michelle, it is opportune time right now. This is, what can I say except yes, you're the one looking for blocks. And I would say to you that this thing about blocks, it's an excuse. And whenever we step up, there's going to be some resistance. Maybe it's our own avoidance of our own discipline. Maybe it's something we should be worried about. Who knows? But the only way is through, as Eileen Caddy once said. And I'm just seeing doors and gates open. Someone just asked about burden, didn't they? And something is difficult and unfamiliar until it's not. You think about how many apps and so on we have to use in our day, and new things and new ways and new processes and so on, and finding our way. We have to go through that a few times. The card that's showing up for you is the Wheel of Fortune, but that's about moving. Another card, just in case I hope you're listening right now. The 9 of Cups, which is very much about wishes fulfilled. So just remember, you've been asking for opportune energy for quite some time, and here it is. So do something with it. Do something with it. Yeah. Okay. Kelly. My daughter Ashley is struggling making her decision about which college to attend. Any advice for her? If I knew what colleges she was looking at, I'd just directly read on those. But you're asking what advice, given that she is struggling to make a decision. Okay. Ashley. Oh, okay. Why I pull cards, and even in a session, even when suggestions and direction comes to me, I want I want, I want a second opinion, as it were. But I want to say three things. If you pass on this to her, Kelly. First of all, she can't go. She can't go wrong. Okay, she can't go wrong. I know it's about which university, but let's remember it's university, right? That's a standard and a experience and socialization all in itself. Um, Particularly and specifically for her, the passing on the message of the one she chose straight away, the one she chose initially, boom, before others came in and clouded it all. That's the one she keeps talking herself out of. That's the one, um, and and then just I'm just saying it because I'm looking at it, but it feels a bit vanilla to say it. Is if you can just suggest she lets go. She lets go. Um, this is she lets go. It's going to be fine. Her choice is going to be fine. Um, we're talking to someone in their teens, and maybe she's not familiar with vernacular and semantics we might use, like go with what feels fluid. That's maybe not going to mean so much to her. So in her vernacular, I would say relax. Relax, go with what she wanted to do initially before she started to talk herself out of it. That's maybe what she needs to hear. Yeah. Tracy. Will your daughter close on a house within a month or two? I see it taking just a little longer than that, Tracy. I couldn't tell you why. That's not to say stop looking. Like you have to keep looking. But I see it taking just a bit longer than you say 1 or 2 months. Not much longer, but and it's frustrating, isn't it? Things we've got to wait for things to be ready for us. Why can't they just be ready now? Yeah. All right. Okay. I was thinking of you yesterday for some reason. Rest of 2023. Okay, that is a large question, bearing in mind it's not April yet, but let's see what we get. Interesting. I'm seeing quite a fluctuation. Is that the word? It's not the word. Difference maybe between your inner experience and your outer experience. Okay, because I see your outer, physical, external, looking pretty good, looking really solid and abundant even. On the inner, I'm seeing you. How I did this, because you're asking about 9 months, so I can't talk. We can't talk back and forth right now. So I did this in terms of quarters of the year. There's 3 quarters of the year left. So if I'm looking at now until summer say. I'm seeing you need to kind of take a breather, stuff coming up from the past here and there, and that's on the inner. Outer is looking great, solid, solid, solid. Getting into the summer months, into fall, um, on the inner. Um, Now we've all got ego going on all the time. Hear me out. We've all got that going on all the time. There comes a time when our spirit says to the ego, enough now of a particular area or a circumstance or situation, enough now, we need to move on. We need to move past this because the ego doesn't like change. The ego wants things to stay the same. Okay. And then there comes this point the spirit says, no, we have to grow. That's what we said we do. And that's when you get a bit of friction and turbulence. That's when we notice the ego, when it's when things aren't moving quite as they want. And so I feel summer into fall there, there's some inner dissonance. But you're the from fall through to the end of the month, I feel you I feel like you'll be getting more and more inspired, but on the outer looking for something to do with it. And that's where the frustration will be, but not on the inner. And so if I can just offer you this, that I think some of the things you're building towards or going to be building towards are to actually take fruit and take shape next year, even by this time next year. I'm saying that so that you can see certainly the latter half of this year as a planning one, as planting seeds and not rushing yourself and not needing response or feedback or even validation. That you grow it in yourself. First. So, what's the rest of 2023 like? On the outer, pretty solid, pretty good, I would say. On the inner, there's quite a lot of cleaning and clearing going on, but I don't see it. I would not call that bad. It doesn't look bad. I'd rather you kind of open your eyes to yourself and roll up your sleeves, like as it were, and get on with that. Get on with that. Very, very few, very positive. All right. Selena, do I see something new for you in your life? That's a very open question, Selena. So I'm not going to fish too hard for it, but let me just see what I'm getting. Then I'm going to say yes. Get an interesting card here, and because I would actually like you to look this up, so if you're still watching, that is. This is the Eight of Cups, and it's an interesting card because we've got a darker sky here, but it's not a dark or miserable card. That's when we say, okay, I'm gonna go my way now. I'm going to go my way now. I actually had an experience like that maybe 2 weeks ago. I just feel currents changing and realize where I had energy plugged into that was doing nothing, and it was drawing from me and nothing productive was happening. And I just started pulling plugs out, as it were, knowing that they would find their own way. And my God, they have. There's areas of my life I can barely keep up with at the moment. So saying, see something new for you, like, yes. Someone asked a question like this about 10 minutes ago, and I think Maria asked a question like this, and then it was like, no, not so much on the outside, but on the inside, on the inner changes happening. And so for you, it's let me put this in lay terms. It's a sudden, strong awareness that a lot of priorities have to change, and that's like a reconfiguration. And as they say, where attention goes, energy flows, and I give life to that. Where attention goes, energy flows, and I give life to that. So imagine if you start changing even a couple of things there, how different life becomes. But with that, it's one's own choice. Do you notice the questions people tend to ask, like, what's going to happen to me? What's going to be different? Well, why are we looking outside anyway? Why are we looking at it's not that's not where it comes from. It comes from the inside out. And that's because we are broadcasting units. So when we really choose, okay, I'm complete with this, I'm complete with this, and this is what I want, then life is very new indeed. Okay. Mina, welcome. Any messages for me? Anything exciting coming my way in the next couple of months? Strikes me that I'm not very well prepared for this type of question. Or maybe I am. Well, I'll keep going in the vein I'm going in and just seeing what's there. Your use of the word exciting, I affirm that. It's definitely that's definitely an energy I'm picking up on here, and something to celebrate you for as well. Oh, then I'm not going to answer your question, and I'm going to take a complete tangent here, Mina. And I apologize, because if you're new to this, then what's this guy doing? Why is he not answering this question and talking about something else? Because I need to. Yeah. I don't know what it is you're doing, working on, involved in, and I don't need to. Suffice to say, I do see it being exciting. I do see you being appreciated and praised and celebrated for it. Okay. Why I'm talking about this is sometimes people want to keep us in the frame that they know us in. Okay. Rather than saying changes you need to change, and growth you need to change, and I will support and love you. How you do that? If only our community and family did that. Whatever. I don't know that I'm always like that for people. Why I'm saying that is I do see a little bit of friction ahead because of things being exciting and because of other people not being able to handle that. It's a very normal part of life, and I'm saying that because it can make us feel a little sad sometimes. Oh, why can't that person be happy for me when all these other people are happy for me? Why can't they be proud of me? Why can't they celebrate me? Other people are. Why is that happening? And when we change and when we grow, other people can feel like they're losing something. Okay. So I know a little odd that I give you a tangential response like that, but that's what I'm seeing there. Okay. Maya. I had an attunement in Reiki 1. Cool. On April the 1st, I'm scheduled for an attunement in Reiki 2. I don't feel any changes in my energy from Reiki 1. Should I proceed with Reiki 2? Do you know, I'm going to say what may sound like blasphemy. I feel like generally our collective energy is past what Reiki 1 might have brought to us. That's no disrespect to Reiki in the slightest. We're talking about universal energy after all. But you know, if you go to when Reiki 1 was brought as initiated more several decades ago, the collective consciousness was not there. It really wasn't there. But I want to just have a look at this. I want to have a look at this right now, and because I do want to encourage you to go further with these attunements and attuning yourself um, and energy healing and so on. Right. I really think you should do level 2. I think level 1, what it was doing was clearing some old processes and indecisiveness in you. Level 2 is interesting because then you start actually doing some distance healing, and it's one thing to receive an attunement; it's another whole thing to do something with it. Because when you do something, or when you teach, or whatever, you change. So I think what's missing here is the practicality, the experience of it. But it looks really good for you to do the second part. So yeah, long-winded answer, but yes, you should. All right, where are we? Okay, Patricia, there we are. Well, your guy friend told you after surgery. Yes, I I don't want to get lost in vernacular and so on, but yes, just want you to understand something that in this person, I'm picking up a bit of a look how I'm even talking. Let me just get words out. Resistance in communicating, resistance to share himself. Okay, resistance to share himself, and so there's that age-old expression: it's not me, it's you. It's not you, it's me. That's it. I see someone that's a little bit reserved, not given to usually. Come on, withholds himself a little bit, and people who withhold, that's them and their stuff. It's not you. But to your answer, to your question, yes, I do. Tracy, great for your current job, but curious as to what step to take in my career to move to a more positive work environment I can utilize your creative gifts as an interior designer. Can you see what next step? Oh gosh, I'm missing the last part. What steps I should take to bring my unique gifts to more people? Okay. Okay, so assuming you're still there, Tracy, with if we let's just go broad for a moment, and then we'll get narrow. With bringing your gifts to more people, bringing your unique gifts to more people. Let's start there. Um, our gifts come through us; they're not for us; they're for other people. First job is to ground it, is to make it relatable, is to make it accessible. Okay, maybe this is an example right now, right? Um, Here you are in the middle of the day. Some of you are probably on the toilet on your phones. Here I am, hello, and you ask a question, I answer it. Simple, very easy, very easy. We want to convey what we do in a simple way. And sure, there's social media, there's all these things, right? First of all, you convey it, you make it accessible, you make it simple, you demonstrate, you ground it. Are you hearing me? You ground it. Because I could write posts about readings, and I could write posts about other things I do. Um, it keeps it up there. We want to bring it down to earth, explain why, convey clearly how it can support someone. Then you have to let go a little bit, bring the oars in, so to speak, see where it leads you. Okay, because what all that we know is a little bit about what our gifts are. We don't know who it's for. We don't know why. There's people on here right now, I don't know how they found me or anything. I don't need to know, right? So if we're getting a little more specific here, we have to be mindful not to make we have to be mindful about loving our gifts and making them accessible, rather than thinking about people specifically, rather than making it about them. And so think about how easy can you make it for someone to understand what you do and why they would want it. You're talking about interior design, right? What do people need from their homes? What do people need from their living environments? How do people express what are their blocks? How can you make their life easier, right? How can you make their life easier? As you give attention, energy, love to that, you'll see how many poor people connect with it, right? I can't go on and on all day, but I hope you get my point. Okay, where are we? Jody in South Wales. Oh, I wasn't asking a question. Sorry. Hello. Or maybe you did, but I haven't seen it yet. All right. Rhonda Johnson. Okay, there we are. What do you see about the new job you're starting? Okay. I like this. It looks like a I don't know what long term even means these days in terms of career, but it doesn't look like a short term thing. Let's just say that much. There will come a point that you have to start shifting or maybe bending to what people are asking you to do, express, behave, appear. I don't know. But there'll come a point that, let's say, we get a little bit of friction, a little bit of, I don't know, applied direction from your employers. And I encourage you to go with it, not to fight it. Okay. Encourage you to go with it. Because I see it actually really galvanizing your empowerment, if that sentence actually means anything. Helping you to become who you are to become. That's what I mean. So when you start to get constructive feedback, as it were, listen, listen, listen. Don't fight it. Listen. Um, it's remember, spirit, love, God, angels. They're working through everything all the time. Whatever we're doing, wherever we are, grocery store, bank, job, um, with kids, all the time. It's not just when we're doing spiritual things, and this seems to be an environment which you. Uh, for you to grow in. And so if I could show you a growth curve, it's kind of like this and then steep, which is good, which is good, which is really good, which is really good. Okay, so I just want to share again with any of you that are still here and listening. I will be giving a retreat at Unity Village in Missouri. Incredible sacred grounds, Unity Village, the end of August, 23rd to the 26th, I believe, are the dates. Let me know if you're interested. I haven't put it out yet. Hopefully I will by the end of the week. And similarly with my membership group and the platform that's on, we're changing all of it, and it's actually very exciting. So look out for that in the future. And so I always just like to finish by taking a breath. There have been more challenging things that have happened in this country in the last 24 hours, reasons to pray and so on. But I like for us just to take a breath for a moment. Truly, we don't know what the greater lessons for communities and the country is, but at the same time, we can offer our love we can offer our love through intention. Ask that goes where it needs to go, to the people that need to receive it, to the solutions that need to be brought to form. And for each one of you, we ask for a prayer of support for all that you love, for all that you need. And we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Well, soon in hopefully the next couple of weeks, I can do I'll do some sound healing on here for you all. I like to do that. It's been a while. And for now, thank you so much for joining me, coming on early in the day. Appreciate it. And I wish you all a great week. God bless, and see you again soon.